Welcome to season 3 of the Living and Learning podcast. We are so excited to hear more about how our mission statement is actually lived out across each of our programs. We're going to hear stories about excellent academics, living in community, and what it looks like to engage in the world with a biblical worldview. We are so excited to spend some time with you together. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Living and Learning podcast. As always, it is so fun to be with you. My name is Sara, and I get to support students who enroll in our Living and Learning semester programs. And throughout the podcast, we have been talking a little bit about our mission statement and just how each component is actually kind of lived out in our different locations. But today I have the honor of chatting with a student as part of a program called Semester in Spain. And as of recently, Living and Learning has the honor of partnering with Semester in Spain, which is an organization that has existed for almost 50 years and has built such a deep legacy of transforming students through international education in a Spanish immersion program in Sevilla, Spain. So I am honored to be with Julia. I had the privilege of going to Sevilla, and that's how I met Julia. And so it's so fun and it's so sweet to have her with us today. So, Julia, tell us a little bit about you. Where do you go to school? What year you are? And yeah, what kind of drew you to choosing to study abroad with Semester in Spain?
Well, my name is Julia. I am from Colorado. I go to Dordt University. I am a senior now, crazy.
Wow.
And I honestly first came across semester in Spain because I found out that going abroad was mandatory for my
Ah.
major in Spanish. I
Yeah,
did not know that originally. That's not a bad thing. I just was not
totally.
aware. So, um, yeah, that was shocking. So I went downstairs because that day there happened to be a representative
Yeah.
um, from semester in Spain, I would think. I think Lily was there, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. But um, and I had that option, and my professor and advisor also said you could go to Ecuador and or Costa Rica. And I grew up in a community that was primarily um, there was a good mix of Latin culture in my community,
Mm.
but it was just that, like, Latin culture, and I have some exposure already to Latin America, and I was like, "Well, if I'm gonna go abroad, then I'm gonna go completely out of my comfort zone
Mm.
and try Spain because I don't know anything about Europe, I've never been to Europe, I don't know anything about Spain other than some of the formal Spanish education I got later in school, so that's kinda it was mainly just, if I'm gonna be out of my comfort zone, I'm gonna be way out of my comfort zone.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Taking it, yeah. I think that's a really cool way to approach a semester abroad of like, this is already a big decision, so might as well go as big as I can.
Right. Literally.
Which is awesome.
Literally.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the Semester in Spain program is really
Mhm.
unique in that it is fully Spanish immersion. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what that means and
Mm.
what is that like to be like fully immersed through this particular program?
Yeah. When you say full Spanish immersion, it is true full Spanish immersion. Like, our first day orientation, we all sit down and we are given a document and we sign it and it says you're speaking Spanish. Like, this semester in this building, you are only speaking Spanish. Um, and for a lot of people, that's really hard. People come in with different levels of Spanish, and they meet you really well where you're at academically. There's intermediate, there's advanced, so there's different levels of Spanish. But the goal is use what you know.
Mm,
While you're here, and our expectation is that you're speaking Spanish. I grew up at a bilingual elementary school,
mm,
so this was not my first full immersion. Well, that was like 80% Spanish immersion, but it was Very similar in the sense that I learned Spanish growing up speaking in class. I learned my subjects in Spanish. I was speaking Spanish with my friends at school. So I know from experience that it definitely is the best way to
Mm,
learn, and I'd say the quickest way to learn Spanish. So I think it's awesome. But yes, you sign that contract, you do your classes in Spanish, you're speaking with the staff and your professors and your classmates while you're in the school setting, and hopefully outside you're not always speaking in English, but you have the freedom to do that,
mm,
obviously. And then you're staying with a host family that may or may not speak any English. They all, um, for the most part, have some grasp of English. But you're at home, you're speaking Spanish. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you're speaking Spanish everywhere, and you're meeting friends, and you're doing activities and all the things in Spanish. It's all Spanish.
yeah.
So it's awesome. If you know Spanish, you're learning new Spanish, I'd say. For myself and one of my classmates, we both grew up kind of speaking. Well, she is a native Spanish speaker, grew up speaking it at home, and then for myself, I grew up speaking it everywhere but home.
Mm,
And for us, it's like Spain Spanish is completely different. So not
totally.
completely, but there's a lot of differences.
Yeah,
So we're learning new things, learning different things. And then for somebody that's new to Spanish or newer to Spanish, you're really just developing that foundation. So, either way, it's awesome. It's super
yeah,
good.
yeah. That's amazing. And I think yeah, to your point, like there's things that you experience by only speaking Spanish, and
Mhm.
those things you maybe wouldn't experience in another scenario where you're only learning in a classroom or things like that.
Right.
So yeah, this program is unique in that way that you're
Mhm.
fully conversing in Spanish with faculty and staff, and yeah, that's a really powerful and really cool way to experience culture and language in that type of sense too. So
Yes.
yeah, part of that too is also the incredible team that is there in Sevilla. And so yeah, tell us a little bit about them. What is like for someone who's listening and has never
Yes.
been there before, doesn't know who these people are. Like what are some things that you would want these folks listening to know about the team that's there?
Yes. Um, for myself going into it, I had no idea what to expect. Like, I
Yeah.
had 0 expectation. I wasn't able to join on the, introductory Zoom call either this
Mhm.
summer, because I was on a work trip, so my parents had to jump on for
Mm,
me, so I never even saw faces. Like, I had no idea who
yeah,
these people were,
yeah.
and like I said, it was more of an obligation for me to come, so I was very nervous.
Mm,
So my first impression, I knew was gonna be a really big deal, and they blew it out of the water. That all the
mm,
whole staff is incredible. Leslie, the program director, is awesome. She has a really unique experience and way of connecting with the students because she was a student with semester in Spain and then ended up meeting her husband and moving or yes, I think she met her yeah, she did, in Spain, and then ended up moving there, so it was crazy experience to be able to connect to her, though, growing up in the States, and then, the rest of the staff being from Spain, most from Sevilla area, is really awesome too because you're getting a true not only Spanish immersion, but, like, Sevilla immersion,
that's good. Yeah.
um, and they're all incredibly kind. They see it as a family, and they treat you like family from day one. They're just so awesome. They care about you not just as a student, as professors, but as a person, and they want to get to know you, and they want to make sure you're doing well. They recognize that you're not just studying normally, like you're away from family and things are hard, and they take all those things into account. Want to make sure you're good. Sylvia is
Mm,
incredible. She, I think her official role is student ministry coordinator,
mhm,
but she does a little bit of everything. She's
mm,
awesome. She just came alongside all of us so well. She's so loving, so positive, so awesome. Annabello is so funny, so loving, so kind as well. She just wraps her arms around you and is like
mm,
Mama Bear is awesome.
mm.
But everybody is so good. So, so
Yeah.
good. So the team is definitely the first thing that settled my nerves getting here
Mm,
and the thing that keeps them down. So,
totally.
like, you never get old of and that well, obviously, you have days where you're homesick, but going into the building itself is never something that are like, "I don't wanna be doing this anymore," because you're like, "I'm gonna miss these people so much when I end up
Yeah.
going home." Like, they are definitely what a big part of what makes the experience.
Hmm. That's so special. Yeah. And
Yes,
that's
they're awesome.
I mean, I got to be there for like 3 days, but it was
Right.
just like, these people are amazing.
I
Like, they just care so deeply about what they do, and
Yes.
it feels like they just take it so seriously in the
Mhm.
sense of, like, the privilege that they have
Right,
to really, like, walk with you all through a
right.
pretty, like, big experience, is just, like, they do not take that lightly, it seems,
Mm-mm.
and so
No.
I'm it's always, chatting with students is always so cool because everybody has their own preconceived, like, nervousness or whatever it is, um, and then to just hear, like, how that gets settled by
Yeah.
being with the people in country who are actually, like, taking care of you, and so that's
Mhm.
really special to hear, and
Yeah,
they love Sevilla, like, they
right.
are so.
Die Hard, yes.
Yes.
They
Yeah, which is really really cool, and Sevilla
It
has
is.
its own, like, little niche culture and things like that too, so, yeah, I only knew them for 3 days, but it was like, so I can't even imagine doing a whole semester with them,
Right.
which is
Yes, no,
so
they're
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yes, and like you were saying, like, they feel the privilege to be there, but they just love it too. Like,
yeah,
they just every one of them just you can tell and they say it out loud. They're like, "I love my job so much." Like,
ugh, yeah,
and, like, being with like, it's you can feel a difference in somebody in any setting where they love what they do, but
totally.
when it's, like, directly impacting your experience in a way that's really unique to a semester abroad, it totally makes a difference.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's
Yes.
been so fun to just hear a little bit, truly just like a sneak peek
Yeah.
into what a semester in Spain could look like. We've talked a little bit about Sevilla in particular, and Sevilla being kind of even unique in and of itself. So,
Yes.
was there something about Sevilla culturally that you were like, "Oh, like, I didn't know this before," or, like, things that are unique about Sevilla,
Yes.
like the rest of Spain?
The time of day that things occur was very unique. I had
Totally.
never um, let me elaborate because that's a confusing statement on its own. But for
Yeah.
context, the United States, you wake up around the same time that you would in the US in Sevilla, 7, 8, um, 6,
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat, normal morning. In the US, you usually eat lunch around noon. Here in Sevilla, you eat lunch between like 2 and 3:30, I'd say. So already your day gets a little longer,
Yeah.
um, and breakfast is more important because you eat a lot later.
Yeah.
Um, Dinner, you then eat probably well, it depends. There's some of us that eat dinner at, like, 7:30, and most of us that eat dinner at, like, 9:30, and then there's some that eat dinner at, like, 10:30. So
Yeah.
dinner's later than the US generally already as well. And then after lunch, you have siesta, so everybody's, for the most part, home for work, eating with their families, taking a break, and then going about what they have for the rest of the day after that, starting at, like, 4-ish. So, it's a really interesting schedule. I think with the later, um it's just longer days because you start around the
Mm,
same time, but then you don't go to bed until, like, midnight's like a early bedtime here, I feel like
that's wild.
it's crazy, but and then part of that is really fun because, like, culturally,
Totally.
like, you're out late, you have a school event, or you went to dinner with your friends, or, you went to get tapas, and you're out at 12 and everybody else is out at 12,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just really fun that every night is fun. Like and
Yeah.
that part too, I think shocked me in the best way of like
Mm.
people enjoy their lives here. Like that's a
Mhm.
conversation we had early on with our group is like it feels like in the US, your life and schedule revolves around your work, and you plan everything around your work. And here, it's like your social life kind of determines your schedule. Like you go to work for your blocks if you have to go back after siesta, but then after you get done with work, you're going out socially. You're going to get tapas too, or you're going
Mhm.
dancing, or you're going to a sporting event. And it's just people just really enjoy life here, and it's exciting to
Yeah.
see.
That's so sweet. That's
Yes.
yeah, I was like, "We're getting tapas at 9 p.m.? Whoa."
Yes.
But
I
everybody
know.
else is doing that, to your point, like,
Right,
everyone else is
right.
doing that too, so it feels like, "Oh, we're just, like, doing what everybody else would be doing."
Right.
So,
True
it's so fun.
Sevilla's.
Yes. Which is awesome. So, yeah,
Yes.
it's thanks for sharing a little bit about even
Of
to just
course.
what someone could expect
Mm,
culturally when they enter
yes.
into this new place too. So, Julia, it has been so fun to chat
Thank
with
you.
you a little
Yes.
bit. Thanks for painting a picture of what that community is like, what it's like to truly like live and do study and all of the things in Sevilla, Spain. So, thanks so much for hanging
Of
out for a little
course.
bit.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks you
You
guys.
as
See you
well.
soon.
See
Bye.
ya.
Thank you for spending some time with us on this week's episode of the Living and Learning podcast. If you want to learn more about us, you can follow us on Instagram or find our website in the show notes of this episode. We cannot wait to get to know you more throughout this process.